Or hopefully the fill-in star, Chris Kelso. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Chris Kelso. You know, we're going to start off with one of our great guests, an individual I recently met, talking all about social media and more importantly about how to promote yourself, a lot of different things you do. I've got Leslie Wilson, also known as Les, with AM Consulting.
Hello. How you doing, Chris?
Doing very well. For all those listeners who have not heard of you before, let us know about who you are and what you do, if you don't mind.
Sure, no problem. Leslie Wilson, I'm Consulting. We are kind of a hybrid technology consulting company and marketing, which means basically we're a bunch of geeks, we're a bunch of coders, we're a bunch of designers, and we also know how to monetize your business as it pertains to real estate or any business that you want to reach out to your audience.
And, you know, and monetizing that business in today's market is what it's all about. It's number one about creating a relationship.
Absolutely.
You know, moving away from the transaction. But you can't create a relationship if they don't know who you are, how to reach you, where you're located, or that you even exist.
That's true. I mean, it's interesting nowadays. We've gone from traditional marketing to internet marketing to now social media marketing. And with Facebook and LinkedIn kind of leading the charge on that, you have this entire social media ecosystem that exists where in the past we would do the classic traditional marketing, the old big brochures, let me go around and do the old handout booklets here and there, brochures, to internet marketing where you went into Google and you did AdWords and you did pay-per-click and things like that to drive traffic to your site, to now targeted marketing with social media marketing where you're saying, I have demographics, 35 to 65, a certain income level, a certain education level, keywords associated with that. And now you have 1 billion people on a Facebook where you can now narrow down to 10 million people that you want to reach. And if 3% of those 10 million people reach, the next thing you know, you got 300,000 users that you can now market your products to.
You know, it is very interesting because that target marketing you mentioned, you can do demographics, you can do different geo settings associated with it. So you can actually do within a city, for example, Houston, you can say, okay, I'm going to target market, you know, the age 25 to 35 in Katy, Texas.
Correct.
Or in Cinco Ranch, or in this street. I mean, it's amazing the way targeted marketing, and people don't realize, you know, businesses sometimes don't realize how specific they can get and how more effective that can get in their dollars.
No, to your point, when I ask people about using Facebook marketing, a lot of folks, they go to the classic, well, let me just boost my post. And I'm like, okay, so what are you doing? You're paying $5 or $10 to do that. And, excuse me, little.
Hey, and that's social media marketing right there.
Nice. It is fine. But what we find out is that the basics of boosting a Facebook post or even saying I want to spend $5 a day for my daily ad, you know, you have to ask yourself a question, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to make money? Are you just trying to get some fillers out there? It's almost like you're spending $5 a day is like putting your toe in the water.
Right.
Spending $100 a day on your budget, that's $3,000 or $2,000 in a given month. Now you're saying I'm serious about generating revenue for my business because I'm investing in myself. And just as you do those ads, it's amazing how people don't understand the emotional and the science behind how an ad emotes to your potential end user or your customer. So you have to there's advanced strategies on how to do that, to do multiple ads, to do what we call split A/B tests when we can see which one is performing better than the other. So we continue creating different ads to get that emotion. But at the end of the day, you want that kind of 3 to 5% CTR, as we say, click-through rate.
Right.
And that's what you're trying to do. So it's a volume play. If you get 1 million people engaged that you can reach out to, and you get 3 to 5% of them actually do something, now you have an audience that you can promote to.
And, you know, and it's interesting you say that. You know, Google really – actually, it was funny because back in 2000 when all these technology companies were coming about, right, the big technology boom that we had, you know, think about that. It was 16 years ago, and you had a lot of different companies out there, and then you got into social media marketing, you know, way later on right there. But in the advent of Google and Yahoo and everything, let's go pre-Facebook.
Right.
You know, they sort of put these algorithms in place, and it's really morphed a lot since then because then you had the MySpaces come along, you had all these other things, and now nowadays you've got Snapchat and Pinterest, and
oh my God.
You know, you have so many different things. And I think where clients can get confused, and I tell everybody this all the time, and you maybe can talk about this right now, is how to utilize tech. Not all technology is good for everybody.
No.
Not all software is good for everybody.
Absolutely.
And so it's a matter of y'all engage a lot of time with the clients and say, what is your target audience? because it might be Facebook is not, believe it or not, the best thing for them to use.
Agreed. I think to your point, when you look back in the early 2000s and when Google came out and they literally just took over from the Yahoo and the Alta Vistas and Bing, and of course, before Bing was here, you really had this way of saying, how can you create a content network of publishers and users to be able to say, I'm going to publish my information and then I want to be able to monetize it. So Google created this incredible content network for you to do that, publishers and advertisers, I should say. So now you have the transition from just Google AdWords or pay per click, where you say, I'm going to pay a certain amount of money. I'm going to have my ads on the first page on the right-hand side, or I'm going to have the ad up at the top portion of the search results, to now morphing into, we're going to go more target marketing. And you're right, Facebook may not be your target audience. So LinkedIn has stepped in.
Right.
And so now Instagram, and which now owned by Facebook, and Snapchat, and all these other groups are starting to kick it in. And they said, well, how can we monetize ads? For example, my sister owns a boutique icon fashion place, as she calls it, LB Icon Fashions, and she used
Big
Etsy.
shout out to her.
I know, right out, little sister, happy birthday. But so I'm helping her brand her product. But what she did is they use a product called Etsy, right? So now Etsy is kind of the e-commerce way for you to set up your shop, your products, and do all that stuff. And then, but they have their own internal part of marketing and branding that you can do within that product. Right. So it has evolved where technology has really broadened the world as it pertains to marketing. But that's why I kind of hone it back in and say targeted marketing. So when you look at targeted marketing, and we met, as Chris said, recently last night, and we were at a real estate event. I've talked to real estate agents about how can they reach their target market, whether it be wanting recruiting sales agents or new agents, or they want to reach out to the customers. Now, I just recently sold my house in 3 days in Telfair.
Right.
That wasn't targeted marketing. That was classic. The gentleman wanted to live in the neighborhood. His sister lives around the corner. And next thing you know, they put up a contract in 3 days.
By the way, that actually in Telfair is location.
Indeed. And so that's what it came down to.
Right.
But when I've talked to other people, it has been about how can you take a home and how can you market it to your audience out there? And how do you target it to that specific group and get the likes and hits and the calls and the call to actions and the lead generation, all those things.
And the good thing is you're not just limited to one segment. I mean, this is good for small businesses, for medium businesses, for large businesses, for individuals, for self-employed individuals. You know, most of you don't realize is, let's just say you're a contractor and, you do woodwork. You still want to be able to get a pipeline built up. So your services are good across the board. It's not just limited to a certain segment or certain
not
group.
at all. I think any services-oriented type business that you want to have, like I said, whether you're a small business, mom and pop shop, a lone entrepreneur, a one-person shop that you want to look like a 100-person shop, which I see all the time, you have to utilize these tools to kind of give you that look. And a lot of times, I tell people, what is your call to action? What do you want people to do when they come to your landing page or to your wherever you are? And you have to tell them. I mean, you're the shepherd, they're the sheep. That's kind of how we look at it. And what do you want me to do? You want me to buy now? You want me to download this free ebook? You want me to buy now? All these different things that you have to tell me what you want if you want me to engage in your product or service.
I could talk about this type of marketing all day long because there's so much more we can cover.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, I'm going to let our listeners know how to reach you. Sure. That way they can call and talk more. How can we reach you, by the way?
You can reach me at our office, 888-746-8383. Or you can visit us at www.iambrandsconsulting.com.
iambrandsconsulting.com. That is Leslie Wilson, also known as Les, 888-746-8383. If you're in the market to go ahead and get some great marketing and social media, give them a call. Les, thanks a lot for being on The Price of Business today.
Thank you, Chris. I enjoyed it quite well.
To all those listeners, we are taking a break. We'll be right back.